most of my experiences with nature have been, ironically enough, I think in urban contexts. I think that most of the times that I felt closest to nature have been in parks.
Growing up in the environment I was very lucky to have that kind of sense. We had a pond in front of our house, so the sun would always set right over in front of our pond to the west. And it would be, you know, we'd have amazing sunsets, and I was always just, as a kid, even as a kid, just watch them and just be completely awe. And then also with, let's see, the stars, like out in the country, you don't have any lights to prohibit you. And I would always be the kid that would come home from a basketball practice. I still remember that when I was in high school. Come home and I would just stand outside and be 15 or 20 degrees, but it'd be the clearest skies, and I'd always see shooting stars and all that kind of thing. So definitely in awe in those senses too.
I'd have to say I experience a sense of awe every time I go outside at night, especially when the sky is really clear. Say what you will about Florida, but we have some beautiful skies. I experienced a deep sense of awe when I was out in California in the Coachella Valley for a music festival, and I looked around and it was just amazing. The sunset cast all sorts of different colors in the sky, and there was a mountain range in the distance with clouds on it and snow at the top, and I just felt a sense of the grandiosity of nature, of how big it was, how small I was, and just gratitude to be part of it.
And I used to, when I was younger, I used to do a lot of my studying outside when I was in school, in college and in graduate school. And so I would spend a lot of time outside reading books, sitting next to trees or just sitting on the ground. And there was even a few trees that I used to sit in to like climb up and sit in to read books. And I think that feeling of being kind of integrated with nature, you know, not that it was a national park or a camping experience or anything so spectacular, but just feeling, you know, feeling the smell of the earth, or, you know, feeling the contrast between the coolness of the earth and the warmness of the air. To me, that was a feeling of oneness with nature, but you know, a very kind of humble one. Nothing spectacular, but I think I felt more integrated with nature in towns and cities than I ever have out in the country, which is kind of weird, but it's true.
In most people's case, there's not a way to combine the two, and I guess technology is valued higher in most people's minds.
There was like a storm coming in, so the swells were big. It was probably 4 or 5 foot waves, and I caught a couple of them, but on one I didn't catch the wave right, and I just tumbled underneath it. And I remember just being underwater for what seemed like an enormous amount of time, and I was just like rolling in the sand, and like I came up like spitting out water and sand, and you know, I got like cut from the bottom, and I was really in awe of just, you know, shocked at like how powerful the ocean was. Here I was, you know, bodyboarding for, you know, 15, 16 years, and everything was fine, and I was just the regular ocean. But now, one time, I was just like caught underwater, and I couldn't even fight to get up. You know, I was just trying, like my heart is just not to drown, but the water, like it was just nature just like keeping me down. I felt really like humbled by the waves. So that's my story.